Have you ever met someone who, within minutes of talking to them, instantly made you feel important and valued? What if you could be that person? The ability to win people over and positively influence them isn't a talent you're born with. It's a skill you can develop. And no book teaches this better than How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This book, published nearly a century ago, is still considered one of the most powerful guides on human interaction ever written. It has shaped the success of countless leaders, entrepreneurs, and everyday people looking to improve their relationships. But what makes this book so timeless? Today, we'll break down the most powerful insights from Dale Carnegie and how they can change the way you interact with others forever. How to Win Friends and Influence People isn't just another self-help book. It's one of the most influential books ever written on communication and human relationships. First published in 1936, this book by Dale Carnegie has sold over 30 million copies worldwide and is still considered an essential read for anyone looking to improve their social skills, build better relationships, and increase their influence. Carnegie, a master in public speaking and human psychology, built his career around understanding people. His work was based on real-life observations and practical experiences, not just theories. He studied how successful people interact, how they win the trust of others, and most importantly, how they build genuine relationships. What's fascinating is that despite being nearly a century old, the principles in this book are more relevant today than ever. Whether you're networking, leading a team, handling conflicts, or just trying to connect better with people, Carnegie's insights offered timeless, actionable strategies. So, what exactly makes people like you? And how do you build influence naturally without manipulation? Let's break down two of the most powerful lessons from this book. One of the most fundamental desires of human beings is to feel valued and appreciated. Dale Carnegie understood this deeply, and that's why one of the first lessons in his book is about how to genuinely make people like you, not through flattery, but through authentic connection. He shares a simple but powerful truth. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So, how do you show that you truly care? Here are three game-changing principles. 1. Show genuine interest in others. Most people go through life focused on themselves. If you want to stand out, flip the script. Make the conversation about the other person. Carnegie suggests that instead of trying to be interesting, focus on being interested. Ask people about their passions, their families, their experiences, and actually listen. I tried this strategy at a networking event. Instead of talking about myself, I asked thoughtful questions about the other person's work. The result? They walked away thinking I was an amazing conversationalist, even though I barely spoke about myself. 2. Remember and use people's names. Carnegie calls a person's name the sweetest sound in any language. Using someone's name in conversation makes them feel important and respected. A simple trick I use when someone introduces themselves, I repeat their name back immediately. Nice to meet you, John. And then try to use it naturally throughout the conversation. This small habit makes a big impact. 3. Make others feel important, sincerely. People crave validation. Carnegie emphasizes that we should genuinely recognize others' strengths and efforts. A sincere compliment can go a long way in building rapport. The key is authenticity. Don't praise just to flatter. If someone did a great job on a project, tell them exactly what you admired. People remember how you make them feel, and when you lift others up, they naturally gravitate toward you. These simple yet powerful habits can completely transform the way people perceive and respond to you. And as Carnegie proves, building influence starts with building genuine human connections. How many times have you been in an argument where, no matter how logical your points were, the other person simply refused to change their mind? Dale Carnegie understood this struggle and offers a surprising approach. If you want to persuade someone, stop arguing. He explains that when we challenge someone directly, their instinctive reaction is not to listen, but to defend. Instead of proving them wrong, Carnegie suggests 3 key techniques to influence without resistance. 1. Never tell someone they're wrong. Most people react emotionally when told they're wrong. Carnegie suggests a more effective strategy. Let them reach the conclusion themselves. Instead of saying, "That's incorrect," try, "That's an interesting perspective. Have you considered this?" I once disagreed with a colleague on a project direction. Instead of dismissing their idea, I asked them questions that naturally led them to see the flaws in their approach. The result? They changed their mind, not because I forced them to, but because they came to the realization themselves. 2. Start with common ground. People are far more open to persuasion when they feel understood. Carnegie suggests starting by acknowledging where you agree before addressing differences. Instead of saying, "I disagree," try, "I see your point about X, and I think we both want the same outcome." Here's another angle to consider. This simple shift lowers defenses and makes people more receptive. 3. Let the other person feel like it's their idea. One of Carnegie's most powerful insights is, people are far more likely to support ideas they feel ownership over. If you want someone to do something, guide them toward the decision instead of demanding it. Ask leading questions that make them feel like they arrived at the conclusion on their own. I've used this technique in negotiations. Rather than saying, "We should do X," I ask, "What do you think about this approach?" When they respond positively, they take ownership of the idea, making them far more likely to follow through. Carnegie's lessons prove that true influence isn't about proving your point. It's about helping others see it for themselves. Master this, and you'll be able to win people over without conflict. How to Win Friends and Influence People is often called the Bible of human relationships. And for good reason. It's filled with timeless principles that, when applied, can dramatically improve the way we communicate, persuade, and connect with others. But does it hold up in today's world? What this book does exceptionally well. The biggest strength of this book is its practicality. Carnegie doesn't rely on abstract theories. Every insight is backed by real-world examples, making it easy to apply. His core message is simple. People want to feel important, respected, and understood. When you master this, you naturally become more likable and influential. Another major strength is that these principles work in every area of life, whether you're leading a team, handling a tough conversation, networking, or even strengthening personal relationships. The lessons are simple but powerful. Listen more than you speak. Make others feel valued. Find common ground instead of arguing. Personally, this book transformed the way I approach conversations. I used to think that being persuasive meant having the best arguments, but Carnegie taught me that real influence isn't about talking, it's about understanding. I once struggled with a difficult work relationship. No matter how hard I tried to explain my point, the other person always seemed defensive. After reading this book, I changed my approach. Instead of arguing, I started genuinely listening, acknowledging their perspective, and asking for their thoughts. The shift was incredible. They became more open, more collaborative, and in the end, we found a solution that worked for both of us. Where this book falls short. One criticism of the book is that some principles might feel too basic or even manipulative if misused. If someone applies these techniques without sincerity, people will see right through them. Carnegie repeatedly emphasizes genuine interest, but that nuance can be lost if readers focus only on tactics. Another challenge is that the book was written in the 1930s, so some examples feel outdated. However, the core lessons remain universally relevant. And that's why this book continues to be a bestseller nearly a century later. Final verdict? How to Win Friends and Influence People is an essential read for anyone looking to improve their relationships, communication, and influence. If you struggle with social interactions or want to be more persuasive, this book is a game changer. The key is to apply these lessons with authenticity, because real influence comes from genuinely valuing others. So, how can you start applying Dale Carnegie's principles today? Here are 3 simple but powerful actions you can take right now to improve your relationships and influence. Start a conversation today by focusing entirely on the other person. Ask about their interests, listen actively, and resist the urge to talk about yourself. Notice how they respond differently when they feel truly heard. Use someone's name more often. Whether in emails, text messages, or in person, addressing someone by name instantly makes interactions more personal and engaging. Replace arguments with curiosity. The next time you disagree with someone, instead of proving them wrong, ask them, "That's an interesting perspective. Can you tell me more about why you feel that way?" You'll be surprised at how much smoother conversations become. Now, I have a challenge for you. What's one principle from this book that you're going to try today? Comment below and let's discuss. If you found value in this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more insights from life-changing books. Remember, the key to influence isn't about being the loudest voice in the room, but about making others feel heard, valued, and important. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.